Excelente, pues vamos a comenzar. Hola a todos. Si me están escuchando, por favor, escríbanos en el chat a ver si todo está bien con el audio, con los videos, si pueden vernos. Pues bienvenidos. Mi nombre es Carla Plasencia y en nombre de Student World les doy la bienvenida a esta live session Aprende inglés en Estados Unidos con Georgetown University. Tenemos muchísima información muy interesante para todos ustedes que quieren estudiar y perfeccionar su inglés en Georgetown University. Les va a encantar. Les voy a explicar un poquito cómo va a funcionar esta live session. Perfecto, muchas gracias a todos los que me están poniendo en el chat que sí se ve y sí se escucha, muchísimas gracias. El chat es para interacciones como esta, también les vamos a preguntar algunas cositas que nos pueden poner ahí sus respuestas en el chat, pero si tienen dudas durante la sesión, las pueden escribir en la segunda pestaña que se llama preguntas. Ahí vamos a estar checando todas las preguntas y las vamos a ir respondiendo durante el live y al final también vamos a tener una sesión de preguntas y respuestas. Este live va a ser principalmente en inglés, pero si tienen alguna pregunta en español, no pasa nada, la pueden poner ahí y la podemos traducir. Entonces, no hay ningún problema con eso. También vamos a tener encuestas a lo largo de la sesión y estas van a estar en la tercera pestañita de su chat, que es encuestas. Ahí cuando les vamos a ir avisando durante la presentación y ya nada más tienen que irse a esa pestañita y votar. Es súper fácil. Y bueno, pues ya no les voy a robar más tiempo. Ahora les voy a presentar a nuestros representantes del día de hoy. Ellos son Stephanie Gallup, que es Program Director de Georgetown University. También tenemos a Christina Conning, que es Assistant Director of Enrollment Management. También tenemos a Regan Carver, que es Program Manager, y a Marcel Bolitiam, que es Senior Director. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and let's begin with the presentation.
Soy Marcel Bolitiam, director del Centro Idioma Inglés, aquí en Washington, D.C. My job, mi trabajo en el Centro de Idioma Inglés es director de programas and to work with estudiantes diferentes. Today, we have three of my fantastic colleagues, Ms. Stephanie Gallup, Ms. Christina Koenig, and Mr. Regan Carver. And Stephanie will be speaking with you shortly, and then Christina will join us near the end to talk about admissions and visa information. Bueno, today, in addition to our welcome, we will have a few questions for you. They will come up as polls, and then also we will put them into, your answers can go in the chat. Gracias, Jose. I am practicing. Yo practiqué mi español. I'll talk a little bit about the mission and the history of Georgetown. And then, of course, all of us right now are still in the midst of dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. So we want to share with you our plans for summer and fall. And then finally, we will give you information on how to apply and information you will need for los visas. Okay, so our first question, pregunta número uno, have you visited or studied in the United States? Visité o estudié en Estados Unidos en pasado. Nunca, no, sí. So if you go over to encuestas and choose, you will be able to see. Muy bien. So Hay 301 gentes in this webinar. So now we have over 100 votes. It looks like well over 70% of you have not visited or studied in the United States, but that's okay. All right, we'll go on to the next question. Thank you, everybody who voted. Our next question is, ¿de dónde eres? Where are you from? ¿De dónde eres? Bienvenidos a Argentina, Costa Rica, Chile y Perú. Muy bien, México. Hay mucho país, Paraguay. Bienvenidos. So many different countries in Latin America. Guatemala, Ecuador, Bolivia, Panama. Venezuela, muy bien. Can we get all countries in Latin America? I think we have all of them, actually. This is fantastic. Oh, anybody from Brazil? Or are we just doing Spanish speaking? Nicaragua. Fantastic. Honduras, bienvenidos. Wow, this is great. República Dominicana, bienvenidos. Thank you all so much for attending our webinar this evening. We have a wonderful program for you, so please sit back and relax and stay engaged. We will have so much great information to share with you today. Our last question, pregunta número 3. How many years have you been using English? ¿Cuántos años estudiar inglés o aprende inglés o usa inglés por su trabajo? ¿0 a 5 años, 6 a 10 años, o más de 10 años? We have people responding with as little as 1 year to 10 years, 20 years, and that's very typical of students in our program. Our students come to us sometimes learning English for only 1 year, and others have many years of experience learning and using English through school, but they come to us because they want to improve and refine their English for purposes of going on to university in the United States, for improving their position in their job, and also because they have a curiosity of learning English more for their own personal reasons, and perhaps they wish to travel around the world where English is a lingua franca, and it is used to communicate with people from all different parts of the country. English is the common language to communicate with one another. So we are so glad that you have decided to join us today to learn about how to improve your English at Georgetown University. The mission at Georgetown is to promote academic excellence in teaching and learning. And that is guided by a Jesuit commitment to diversity and tolerance and respect for the individual. Georgetown University es una universidad católico jesuit más viejo de Estados Unidos. We were founded in the 1950s, so we have more than 60 years of age in our university. 2 of our core Jesuit values that I want to talk to you about today. The first one is cura personalis, to care for the person, the whole person, and dedication to academic excellence. As we have seen over the last year as a result of the COVID pandemic, it is our responsibility and was our responsibility to take care of our students, to take care of our faculty and our staff. So we all immediately came to our homes and continued to learn English. and teach English from our homes to students from around the world. But we continue to do so in a way that did not take away from the importance and the excellence of our academic program. Our goal is to focus on you as a student, to understand why you are learning English, and to teach you the skills that you need to be successful. The courses that we offer at Georgetown integrate the reading and writing with listening and speaking, as well as with grammar, to help you build the communication skills to be successful in a global cultural society. So I share with you here a picture, life in Washington, D.C. This picture was taken a few years ago with students in our program, but we want to share with you some of the fantastic things that go on in our amazing city, so that if you decide to join us, you can be rest assured that there'll be plenty to do and you will never be bored. So Washington, D.C. is located just about 4 hours away from New York City, about 2 hours from Philadelphia. Our program, the English Language Center, is just a few steps away from many of our landmarks. And the one that you see here is our Jefferson Memorial. We are also close to major government institutions that are situated throughout the city of Washington. So when you come to Washington, D.C., you're coming to the capital city of the United States of America, and you will learn not only about English and how to use it in your life and your job and for school, but also interesting aspects of American culture, and to immerse yourself into that experience every single day. Washington, D.C. is a fairly old city. It's an historic city, and we benefit by having beautiful architecture. We have a very active restaurant and outdoor cafes. This is a very typical picture that you can see. And in fact, Washington, D.C. is now opening up quite rapidly now that many people have been vaccinated against COVID. And we are starting to see life slowly return to normal. We often have outdoor movies and music festivals, and I think we should be able to see more of these starting in August, when we expect students to return to our campus. Did you know that Washington, D.C. was ranked #2 in the United States for city parks? Well, I did not. But it is. We have amazing parks in our city that allow you to, you can rent a bicycle and explore the city of DC. These trails go out to Maryland and Virginia as well. Of course, you can run and have picnics along these trails as well. So it's a great way to get outdoors. All right, so I will now turn over the program to our interim program director and assistant teaching professor, Ms. Stephanie Gallup.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Me llamo profesora Gallup. Lo siento, mi español no es bueno como Mr. Bovintiam. Voy a presentar en inglés más claro. Okay, so this summer at Georgetown, if you'd like to get started early and join us for some short programs before the fall, we are offering a couple of online programs this summer. The first program you can study with us upcoming this summer online is July 19th through 30th, and it takes place for an hour and a half each day, Monday through Friday. This is our American Conversational English program. This class takes place for an hour and a half in a small workshop format each day. In this class, you can practice speaking, listening, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation, and you get feedback from your professor every day, and you get to practice English in small groups and in pairs, even online. We use the Zoom classroom in order for students to connect virtually from wherever they are and get all the practice and the materials that they need for this short course. So if you'd like to get a head start on studying English with us, you can join us this summer in July, the end of July, for the American Conversational English program. Another special program we have this summer is for graduate students. This program, English Skills for Graduate Students, is for students who have already received an acceptance letter to an American university. For students who want to improve their skills for graduate schools very quickly, we have a 3-week course that begins in July. And if students would like to learn more or apply for this program, we have the link, the Apply Now link will be put in the chat. So if you have questions about this or you'd like to apply for this program, please check out the link in the chat. Now I'd like to tell you all about the classes that we are offering in person this fall. I'm going to give the floor back to Mr. Valentian. He can tell you a little bit about the university operating status in August.
Gracias, Professor Gallup. I appreciate that prompt. So thank you all for the questions that are coming into the chat right now. And please continue to ask your questions and we will get to them as quickly as we can. So for the fall, for classes starting in August, I want to share with you 3 very important things first. Student safety is prioritized. That means we're doing everything we can to care for you as the whole person, as well as to care for our staff and faculty. Being in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have had our classes online for over a year now. This summer, as Stephanie mentioned, we plan to do our conversational class online in July, but starting in August, our goal is to have our classes in person. In person means you will come to Washington, D.C. to study with us in the classroom. So yay, this is exciting. We have been looking forward to this for a year and we are so thankful. The last thing I want to share with you is that all students who want to come to Georgetown must be vaccinated for COVID-19. Now let me explain to you just very quickly. Let me go back, apologize. Right now, Georgetown University is accepting the vaccines that are approved by the WHO, the World Health Organization, as well as those that are approved by the US government. Those include the Pfizer, the Moderna, and the Johnson & Johnson. And there are a few other vaccines that are approved by WHO. If you are unable to get a vaccination before you leave your country, and we understand that this can be very difficult for some of you, Georgetown University will provide vaccines to students. So Christina Koenig will share with you information about coming to Washington and the visa process, but we encourage all of you, if you need to be vaccinated, to plan on coming to Washington, D.C. about 30 days prior to the start of the program so that you may get a full vaccination prior to the start of classes. Okay, I know that was a lot of information. So our preguntas número 4. What are your goals for studying English? Why do you want to study English? What is the purpose? Do you plan to go on to university in the United States? Are you studying English for just improve your conversation? Could you please put your responses into the chat box now? We also have 3 responses that you can choose on the encuestas. What is your top reason for studying English? Por entrar a la universidad, por inglés para su trabajo, o por las razones personales. Sorry, I may have used some French there as well. Great. Well, you will definitely be improving your vocabulary when you come to the United States because you cannot help but be using English as much as possible. We have many students that go on to pursue a bachelor's, master's, as well as a doctorate degree. And in fact, the students in our program are admitted to some of the best universities in the United States, including Georgetown. So if you're seeking a PhD or a master's, like I see many of you are, we provide the advice and counseling through that process for you. All right, so I think I will now turn it over to Professor Gallup, who will share some information, more detailed information about our actual programs.
Hello again, everyone. I'd like to tell you about the 3 different tracks of the Intensive English program at the English Language Center at Georgetown. Many of you have academic goals, professional goals, or personal goals, or maybe even more than one when you come to study English. Because of this, we have 3 tracks: a language and culture track, an academic English track, and a professional English track. I'm happy to share some details about each of these tracks with you now. For all of the courses in our program, we have small interactive courses, which means that students have an opportunity to speak in every class, to get individual feedback, and to meet people and classmates from all over the world. We integrate all language skills, which means we teach listening and speaking together. If you go out in the world, you don't listen without speaking. You don't speak without listening. So we design all of our classes to model the type of language that you will use in real life. We design our courses with engaging topics from a variety of fields. Our students come from all over the world with different backgrounds, majors, and professional interests, and we do our best to incorporate everyone's interest into our courses. All students receive individual writing and speaking feedback. On all of your assignments, you will get personal feedback from your professors in how to improve both your writing and your speaking. In all classes, there is regular pair and small group discussion, and we also have office hours after class with faculty and staff, so you can get more help and ask questions that you were not able to during class. As you can see in this slide, we have several upcoming sessions for these 3 program tracks in our program. We have a fall 1 and a fall 2, and a spring 1 and a spring 2. So this means that we have start dates in August, October, January, and March in the upcoming year. Please note that the deadline is about 6 weeks before the start of the program, the deadline to submit your application. We'll share more information at the end of the presentation about the steps to apply. If you want more details on these dates, you can also visit our website, and we'll share more information at the end of the presentation. For our intensive language and culture program, if you want to improve your English language skills while also gaining a deeper understanding of US culture and how to communicate participate in a variety of cultural settings for personal or professional reasons, this program might be for you. In the Intensive Language and Culture track, we help students build confidence in speaking and short writing assignments for personal and some light professional use. Students in the Intensive Language and Culture track can learn strategies for discussion and for written email communication and virtual communication as well. Students in this track will strengthen foundational English language skills that will help them prepare for more difficult academic and professional settings. This track is ideal for students at CIFR levels A2 through B1. In the Intensive Academic English track, this is our track that is designed for students who are looking to pursue a university degree. We will help you develop the academic skills you need to successfully transition into academic life in the US at a college or a university. In this track, students learn how to write an academic essay and research paper. They learn how to give an academic presentation, and they learn how to take notes with academic reading and lecture listening material. For students in this track, we offer elective courses every term. These topics include grammar, leadership, and other special topics depending on the time of year. We also offer several times in the semester workshops and lecture series with experts in the field. Since we are located in Washington, D.C., we have access to many interesting people, both in the university and in the professional field, and we love to bring speakers to visit with our students, to share more information, and give practice with speaking and listening to native speakers of English. For the Intensive Academic English track, we require a CEFR level or B1 or higher. This is assessed in a placement test that we give all students at the start of the program. If you don't meet the CEFR B1 requirement, you can enroll in our Language and Culture track, which will help you strengthen your skills and then be prepared for this next track. Finally, for advanced learners, we have an Intensive Professional English track. For students in this track, we help you refine your English skills while understanding U.S. professional practices in business and public policy, as well as critical leadership and networking skills for success. In this track, students will build confidence in networking with professionals right here in Washington, D.C. Our program has specialized in collaborating and working with NGOs and research or institutes or think tanks, whether students have experience in these programs or trips and activities that we have working together with organizations in DC. Each term, we have a topic focus on leadership, various organizations, public policy, and occasionally law. We change our topic focus each term depending on the students who are studying with us. And because the material in this track is at a very high level, we require a CEFR B2 or higher. A CEFR B2 is about a high intermediate to high intermediate level of English. The CIFR framework is a worldwide known framework for language proficiency. If you don't have this level, when you first join us at Georgetown, again, you can enroll in our foundational track, Language and Culture, to improve your skills to get ready for this track. Thank you so much for your attention. Muchas gracias por su atención. I will now give it to Christina Koenig, who will give you more information on how to apply.
Hello, my name is Christina, and I will be your point of contact when you're applying to our programs, as well as for your immigration process. In order to apply to our programs, you must submit your application online using the link you see on the screen.
Can you speak a little slower?
Yes, sorry. We can also copy and paste the link into the chat. Once you are admitted, you should then accept your enrollment by paying our $200 tuition deposit fee online, and then you will be prompted with instructions as well as a date for a mandatory placement test. As previously stated, all new students are required to take a placement test to confirm their English proficiency level in order for your Form I-20 to be issued. If you require F1 visa support, I will also assist you in applying for this separately once you have been admitted to the program. So all of our intensive English programs require students to enroll full-time. International students who require F1 visa support to enter the U.S. to study in a full-time program must apply for F1 visa support. This is a separate application process from the program. Once you have been admitted to the program and you have accepted and confirmed your enrollment, you will receive an email from me with step-by-step instructions on how to apply for the Form I-20. The Form I-20 is required to apply and interview for an F1 visa at a U.S. embassy or consulate. When you travel to the U.S., you will need both the Form I-20 and the F1 visa to enter. If you have any specific questions regarding your immigration process, please email us. And then due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there have been closures and long delays at U.S. embassies. You should apply as early as possible to avoid visa processing delays. And at the site here, you can check the site for estimated visa wait times at the closest U.S. embassy or consulate by you. And then we would like to take this opportunity to allow you to ask any questions or more questions as we're seeing in the chat. Please type them in the chat box. And then as you are typing your questions, here's our contact information. You may contact us by email, telephone, or WhatsApp. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Thank you very much, guys, for this information. Now, I think it's time to go to the questions from the students. I know there have been like lots and lots of questions. Regan has been answering like crazy today. I'm going to read out loud the ones that are more general or that they repeat the most, or those who get the most votes. So, the first one that we have here is about the vaccine. So I believe Marcel already talked about it, but just to be like clear on that, should they need to get the vaccine before going there, or can they also get it once they get to Georgetown University?
Obviously, if they are able to get a visa prior to traveling, that is preferable. However, if they cannot, then they can get the vaccine at Georgetown University. We do recommend that students come to the United States 30 days before the start of class so that they can get the full vaccine. That way they will be properly protected.
Awesome. I'm going to translate that part just to be like they can get it like super clear. Ok, chicos, pues la pregunta fue si necesitan vacunarse en sus países de origen o si pueden vacunarse una vez llegando a Georgetown University. La respuesta es, si tienen la posibilidad de vacunarse en sus países de origen, pues claro que es lo ideal para que ya lleguen a Estados Unidos con la vacuna. Si no, se pueden vacunar una vez llegando a Georgetown University. Solamente tienen que tener en cuenta llegar aproximadamente 30 días antes de que empiece su programa de estudios para que les alcance el tiempo de tener la vacuna, ya que recuerden que la mayoría de las vacunas son de 2 dosis y tienen 3 o 4 semanas entre cada dosis, entonces para tener eso en cuenta, pero sí es posible que se vacunen ya estando allá. Perfect. So the next question that I see here is if you have any minimal or maximum age for applying to the programs.
Yes, our students must be at least 18 years of age at the start of the program.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we do not have an age limit. We accept students of all ages over the age of 18.
Awesome, thank you very much. Ok, la pregunta fue si tenían alguna edad mínima o máxima para aplicar a los programas. La respuesta es si hay edad mínima, tienen que tener por lo menos 18 años de edad al momento de iniciar el programa, pero no hay edad máxima. A partir de los 18 años, porque vi en las preguntas alguien que tenía 60 y pocos, no me acuerdo cuántos. Pero eso no es ningún problema porque pueden aplicar a partir de los 18 y hasta los que sean. Perfect. Thank you very much. Does this program helps to get the TOEFL or another proficiency exam?
So I will answer that briefly, and then I will let Professor Gallup also add in as well. But the classes in our intensive academic prepare students with the skills they need in order to take the TOEFL or the IELTS exam. We focus on academic reading and writing, listening and speaking, and we also offer discrete grammar courses to help students with all aspects of their English. And we have found that students who improve their academic English skills are better prepared to take the TOEFL and IELTS.
That was
Stephanie?
perfect.
Okay.
No other details.
Perfect, thank you. So, la pregunta fue si estos cursos ayudan a preparar para los exámenes de TOEFL, por ejemplo, o algún otro examen de manejo del inglés. Pues obviamente al tomar los exámenes los preparan para la parte de listening, que es como auditivo, speaking, que es hablarlo, les dan mucho más gramática y tienen muchas mejores bases. Entonces, pues claro que esto se va a reflejar en un mejor resultado en cualquiera de sus exámenes. Here I have another question. Do you have any info about, I forgot the word in English, accommodation?
That's a great question. So I will put a link in the chat box for students. We offer information about homestays, staying with American families, information about on-campus housing at Georgetown, as well as off-campus housing. I'm putting a link in the chat box now that will take you directly to our webpage that shows the different neighborhoods in DC where students may stay, as well as links to homestays.
Perfect, thank you very much. La pregunta aquí fue si tienen algunas opciones de alojamiento y la respuesta es sí. Les van a poner el link en el chat. Hay opciones en campus, hay opciones con familias que viven en el área, pero para pues tener más información, vayan directamente al link que les estarán compartiendo ahorita en el chat y ahí van a poder ver todas las opciones de alojamiento para este programa. Now, the next question is, can I study with a tourist visa or do I need to get the student visa?
So I'll take this one. So our program requires students to be full-time, and the tourist visa or B1, B2 visa does not allow students to study full-time. It has restrictions. So no, students cannot study on a tourist visa. They have to apply for the apply for the Form I-20 so they can apply and interview for the F1 visa.
Perfect, thank you very much. La pregunta aquí fue si necesitan visa de estudiante o si podían estudiar con una visa de turista. La respuesta es que necesitan tramitar su visa de estudiante, ya que estos programas son de tiempo completo y la visa de turista tiene restricciones acerca de eso. Entonces tienen que aplicar para la visa F1. Perfect. So, I'm looking for not that specific questions over here. Here is, what is the main difference between the academic and the professional program?
I can answer this question. I will go back in the presentation. Okay. So the intensive academic English track is specifically for students who are looking to pursue a degree in a university. So bachelor's, master's, or even a PhD. But the academic English track is for students who need particularly the reading, writing, and presentation skills for a university. So that's why we talk about the essay, doing research, taking notes, these sorts of things. In the professional English track, we welcome students who have professional experience in different fields who want to really improve the English that they have in high-level professional environments and to take advantage of the atmosphere and organizations in Washington, D.C. So you can see here that in this program, this is for understanding more about U.S. professional practices in business and public policy, and to work on leadership and networking skills and to practice them while you are here in Washington, D.C. So students in this program will not do university level or academic level reading and writing. They will do more professional level reading and writing. And another really important part of the professional English track is that students have the opportunity to do networking and visit a lot of professional organizations and places in Washington, D.C.
Perfect. Okay, guys, so la pregunta fue cuál era la principal diferencia entre el inglés, que es el Intensive Professional English contra el inglés académico. Y la respuesta es que el inglés académico se enfoca principalmente a eso, a todo lo académico, que sería como la lectura, escribir, presentar, todas esas cosas que necesitas para ser un estudiante exitoso de universidad en inglés. Y el camino profesional es más como para perfeccionar un inglés ya de negocios con un nivel más alto, también tienen como más enfocado el liderazgo en hacer relaciones profesionales. Es un nivel más profesional de lectura y escritura, y también está muy interesante que les dan la oportunidad de hacer networking en muchos lugares de Washington, D.C. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Now, do you have any sort of for the payments first? Do you need like the full payment first, or can you do like the fee payments, like monthly payments, or how does that work?
So the students are required to have the money in their bank account in order to get the Form I-20. So for an 8-week course, I know we have lots of questions about this. For the 8-week session, the price is $4,668. And they must also show an additional $4,900 for housing and accommodation. We also work with a company, and Christina, I forget the name, where they can make monthly payments to that company. Do you remember, Christina?
Yes, so we work with a company called Flywire. But currently the payment plan, right now Flywire is no longer doing payment plans, but our student accounts does do payment plans if you enroll at the beginning of a semester. So if you enroll in our fall 1 session, spring 2, or I'm sorry, spring 1 or summer sessions, and they will allow you to do a payment plan with the university.
Excellent. Okay, so la pregunta fue referente a los pagos. Para los primeros programas, es decir, el que es en otoño, el primero, el que es en primavera, el primero, y el que es en verano, la escuela, directamente la universidad tiene un plan de pagos, pero es importante que sepan que para la visa de estudiante es necesario que tengan la cantidad para el curso en alguna cuenta. Esto es un requisito para la forma I-20 y el programa de 8 semanas tiene un costo de $4,668 y tienen que comprobar otros $4,900 para el alojamiento y demás gastos que necesiten. Thank you very much, guys. Now, do you accept people from all over the world, or do you have any restrictions about nationalities?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sure. Do you accept students from all over the world?
Yes, we do. Anybody from any part of the world is permitted to apply to our program. And once they are admitted, then they would of course apply for their visa. We do not have any control over the visa process. We can provide you with the information that you need to prepare for your visa interview. We also encourage you to visit a local Education USA office that can help you prepare for the visa interview. But we do not have any restrictions on any countries. The restrictions on visas are done by the government, not by Georgetown.
Perfect, thank you very much. La pregunta es si, bueno, fue si aceptaban estudiantes de cualquier parte del mundo. La respuesta es sí. Cualquier estudiante de cualquier lugar del mundo puede aplicar a estos programas. Lo único que les recomiendan mucho es acercarse con los gobiernos de Estados Unidos en sus respectivos países para saber cuáles son los requisitos de las visas, ya que las restricciones de visa las pone el gobierno, no la universidad. Entonces, para que puedan ver ahí exactamente qué requisitos piden y no tengan ningún problema al momento de aplicar para las visas. Here we have lots of questions about the programs. Do you offer any online courses?
That's a great question. Our next online course will be offered in July. It is our American Conversational English course. This will be offered over 2 weeks, 1.5 hours a day for a total of 15 hours. As I mentioned in the beginning, we will be in person starting in August.
Awesome, thank you very much. La pregunta fue si tenían algún curso online, ya que vi que muchos estaban preguntando aquí en el chat. La respuesta es sí. El American Conversational English, ese programa es online, es en julio, es por 2 semanas y son 15 horas en total. Y bueno, pues ahí tienen también la liguita para aplicar. Y estoy segura de que Regan o alguien más lo compartió en el chat, porque lo vi por ahí, y si no, está en la sección de preguntas, también ahí han compartido los links para los diferentes programas. Perfect. We already covered. Okay. So this is interesting. What is the English level that I must have to apply to each program?
Stephanie, do you want to take that, or I'm happy to?
Yes, I can take this question. When you apply to the program, as part of your application process, you will work with Christina Koenig and answer some questions from her when you apply. We require all students take a placement test online to determine their level before we give you information if you qualify for the program that you have applied for. So just to go over this again, for our language and culture program, for this intensive program, this is ideal for CFR levels A2 through B1. So this is a high beginning to intermediate level of English, and students will take a placement test to determine if they qualify for this program. For the academic English track, you must have a CFR B1 or higher. And again, you will know if you have this based on our placement test we give to all students. And for professional English, you need to have a CFR 2 or higher.
Perfect. Ok. La pregunta fue, ¿cuál es el nivel de inglés que debo ya tener antes de aplicar a alguno de estos programas intensivos? Y la respuesta es que como parte de su proceso de ingreso, van a trabajar con Cristina y Cristina les va a hacer una serie de preguntas y también van a tener que hacer un test de colocación online para saber si realmente tienen el nivel necesario para el programa al que quieren aplicar. En el caso del programa de Language and Culture, se necesita un A2 a B1, que es un principiante ya un poquito más avanzado, hasta intermedio. Para el Academic English se necesita un B1, que es ya como intermedio más alto. Y para el Professional se necesita un nivel B2 o más, que ya es un nivel un poquito pues ya avanzado, ya es más como para perfeccionar ciertas partes del inglés de negocios. Thank you very much. Here is another question. The 3 courses, do they cost the same?
Yes, the total, if we're talking about the intensive academic English, the total price for the 8-week session for all 3 classes is a one price of $4,688. Students who are on an F1 visa are required to study full-time, and they must take all of those courses at one time.
Perfect, thank you very much. Perfecto. Bueno, pues sí, el costo es el mismo para los 3 cursos. El costo, como ya les habíamos comentado, es de $4,668. Son para las 8 semanas y son cursos intensivos de tiempo completo, ya que así lo requiere la visa, porque la visa requiere que sean estudios de tiempo completo, entonces tienen que cubrir todas las horas. Thank you very much. Here's another question. How many hours per week does the program have?
So the number of hours that students are in class each week are 20 hours. Our schedule is Monday through Thursday. We have classes 4 days a week, and students take classes in the morning, the lunch break, and then in the afternoon for a total of 5 hours each day.
Perfecto. La pregunta fue cuántas horas a la semana tiene el curso? Y la respuesta es, son 20 horas, son cursos de lunes a viernes, y tienen cursos en la mañana, luego tienen un break para que tengan hora como de comida, luego tienen cursos en la tarde. Perfect, guys. So, I guess it would be a good idea right now to go to the last slide again, so they can have your contact information there. Perfect, thank you very much. Aquí les volvemos a poner su contacto, está el teléfono, el email y la página web. También nos han estado compartiendo todos los links para los programas, tanto en el chat como en la sección de preguntas. Y para muchos que han preguntado, estamos grabando este webinar y se los haremos llegar más adelante para que puedan volverlo a ver y aclarar algunas dudas que les hayan quedado a ustedes. Guys, I think we have reached almost the end of this webinar. I don't know if you want to add any final advice for the students.
Yeah, so I put our email address in the chat. I also put a link called Linktree, which will provide students with links to all of the different information that they can find about us. I know that people have many questions about visas, about program length, about the cost of the programs, as well as vaccinations. So we encourage you to reach out to us directly, and we can set up an individual chat with you to discuss your personal situation in more detail. So we thank you so much for taking the time to join us this afternoon, and we hope to see you personally at the Georgetown University campus, downtown Washington, to study with us in August. We are looking forward to the opportunity to be back in person and to do what we do best, which is teaching English face-to-face with students like yourselves from Latin America and other parts of the world. Muchas gracias a todos.
Thank you very much. Muchas gracias a todos por acompañarnos, por regalarnos un ratito de su tarde para que les pudiéramos compartir esta información sobre los programas de inglés de Georgetown University. Marcel les dejó ya en el chat una liga que contiene todas las ligas para todos los programas y toda la información que necesitan para estudiar inglés en Georgetown University. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Thank you very much to the presenters for being here with us today, for sharing with us all this valuable information, and I hope to see you all very soon.
Espero verle pronto.
Nos vemos pronto. Muchas gracias.
Nos vemos pronto, sí, gracias.